talk yet there, Ryan Romano? Not you, Kyle. You're fine. You can say whatever you want. Hold on. And play. No, that's not working. Hold on. Wrong button. We're professional here.
Everyone, would you please welcome to the Putting You Over podcast.
Allegedly.
He is a massive collector of toys. Subscribe to him on YouTube for all of his hunts, reviews, and unboxings. He is the Kyle Peterson.
Boy.
Sorry. Wow.
Sorry, headphone.
That's the best intro I've ever had.
Sorry, headphone users. That's Ryan Romano. He's our Howard Finkel.
There you go.
Yeah, you can't get any better than that. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. How are you guys?
I'm phenomenal. I just realized I'm extremely amped up for some reason. I have no idea why. Someone mentioned Triple H, and I went off on a tangent.
I was listening.
Oh yeah. Look, he can do what he wants. Let's go do it.
He can. Yeah. I mean, he can do anything. I mean, how many millions does he have? If he wants to retire on a beach, he can.
He should just go to random places. Well, probably not. Probably can't do that anymore. Let's just go to random places and just spit water in the air.
I get to see him working the merch tables, the gimmick tables, doing that. $50 for a spit take. I get to see it.
God.
Well, okay, hold on. This is the only COVID reference we'll mention tonight.
You gotta buy. So it starts at the end of the line. You gotta buy the rain gear, like you're going to an Evil Dead show. You gotta buy the poncho first. So it starts there, and then you work your way up.
You show your vaccine shot. You get it half off.
Oh Jesus! Get out of here.
New question I've been starting the show with. What would you be doing tonight if you were not here?
I'm actually on vacation from work, but I would actually be working on some spreadsheets tonight. How boring is that?
Oh man,
That's horrible.
Spreadsheets. All right, hold on. So spreadsheets for what exactly?
I mean, for my day job, not for work.
That's
not my fun YouTube stuff. That's for sure.
That's what I was gonna say. So
I wish
you still have a shoot job. YouTube isn't. You can't just go full time with that yet.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a real job and 70 hours a week. Probably I put in at work every week. It's ridiculous. Just absolutely ridiculous. No time off. I finally got the first 2 days off since before COVID. Last week or 2 weeks ago, whatever it was. It's unbelievable.
And they're making you do spreadsheets?
Oh, I mean, I do. You wouldn't believe the stuff I do and see.
It's
probably boring to most people, but yeah, it's crazy.
I don't know. I had to sit in front of some Excel sheets all day today too. It was not fun, which is probably why I felt like shit when I got home.
There you go.
But you haven't really done. You started this channel in April of 2020, so that literally was the start of the shutdown.
Yeah, I basically, I was at working obviously in an office and stuff for my position, and then COVID sent a lot of people working from home, and it was something. You're not going out, you're not traveling, you're not doing anything. I live in the Midwest, and I travel the Midwest pretty heavily during non-COVID times, and now all of a sudden, hey, I'm not traveling, I'm not in hotel rooms, I'm not this meeting, that meeting. I've kind of got time, I guess. So I said, you know what? I should start doing some videos. There we go.
And you had a massive collection, probably anyways, already up to that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, this collection's been going on a long time. So yeah, a lot of people ask me that a lot. Well, how did you do all this? Well, it didn't happen overnight.
I don't need a channel.
It's not last weekend I went and I bought all this stuff. Last weekend, it was fine.
That wouldn't go over well. YouTube.com/the Kyle Peterson 1980. Now that's not just a creative number. You were probably born in 1980.
There you go. 1980, kicking off the 80s.
Yes, that's right. So I'm 1 year. I'm actually, well, it depends when in 80 you were born. I'm a week out of. So I like to tell people I was born in the 70s. That was cool when I was younger. As I'm older now, now I'm like, I was born in the 80s. All right, it was a week before it turned the 80s. That's when I was born. The greatest time for everything we're going to talk about here tonight.
100%. Yeah. And I always say I have the best birthday you could possibly get. It's June 25th, which as a kid is great because that's exactly 6 months away from Christmas.
Yes.
So every 6 months I had my birthday or Christmas.
Mine was a week before Christmas.
Oh boy, the double up club or the get shafted club.
Well, I didn't get shafted as I was a middle kid, so people always had to make me feel good. Just basically what this show's about. But so 80. So we have Transformer, G.I. Joe, obviously wrestling, Ninja Turtles. I mean, you know way more than that. You have them all. We'll probably focus a little more on the the wrestling aspect, but that's just how the cookie crumbles.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah. So why did you said you had the time to go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I have the time. That's one thing. It's funny is time is just insane. When you're younger, you feel like time goes slow. As you get older, as we all know, time goes so much faster. But like I said, I work 70 hours a week in my day job, but I've turned this into like my stress relief. I always think I'm going to like die of a heart attack or something working the way I do and just the business I'm in and stuff. And this is a great stress relief. And, you know, a little inside baseball secrets. I guess I film about 99% of my videos on Sunday. That's usually my slow day. So I get up extremely early and I crank them all out on Sunday.
Yeah.
So
just pretend like you shoot them all
and that's what people think. You're like, oh, you're shooting those every single day. You're doing these. Well, I do them all Sunday, and I'm pretty good. I speak for a living, so I don't have to do a lot of takes. We'll say.
Yeah, you are.
It's usually one take through.
You are very well spoken. We have been interrupted here by one of my daughters of anarchy, which you have two as well.
Yeah, I know you got daughters too. We're in the daughter club.
Yeah, we're 3. What are you doing down here, and why? Okay. Okay, I'm your only daddy. Okay. All right, go upstairs, please. Thank you. All right. Yes, please. Thank you very much.
I've been there.
I mean, she just kicked my micro brawlers across the room.
Oh my goodness.
Do they count?
Adoption.
Do they count? They count, right? They collect them.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't care about the cat. See, that's why I tell him not to come down because it just throws me off.
It just throws you off your game. I get it.
How'd you fall in love with collecting these toys? You're a kid in the 80s, just like me. What you saw on TV, is what we could buy then. That was the best part about it.
It's so weird how kids don't understand the glory of the 80s. And I sound like an old man when I say that, but it truly was a glorious time. You weren't sensory overload. You didn't have your iPads, computers, all that stuff. I mean, you had 4 or 5 regular channels, then cable had maybe 20 channels, and that was it.
If you had cable, yeah.
Right. If you had cable, yeah, and everybody didn't have cable back then. But, you know, G.I. Joe, like you said, Transformers, G.I. Joe, He-Man, Ghostbusters, you know, go on and on. They were on TV every day, you know, before and after school, that kind of fun stuff, Saturday mornings. And as a kid, you just love that world and you want to play that world and you start buying toys. And I was very fortunate. My dad understood it at an early age. My dad was a collector too, not really so much in the 80s. He was more in the 90s. He got into collecting pretty heavy. But he understood it, and I think he collected through me, you know, and we'd go on hunts, and we'd get G.I. Joes, checklists, all that kind of stuff, and it snowballed from there, and, you know, some people grow out of it, and some people don't. I'm one of the ones that don't, I guess.
Yeah, but that's good. But that's awesome, like, and you have a passion for it. It's like anything, like, I mean, I don't know, but it's just another hobby. It's a passion, too. And I can relate with the collecting, like, my dad, like, we would get into collecting sports cards, and, that's just what we'd go out, we'd buy them, we'd collect them, and I had three, I had to count. I had 3 brothers, you know, so we would trade them back and forth. So I definitely can relate with that. In the 80s, I
know that world too. Yeah, that was huge in the 80s as well. I was all in on that as well.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, it was great. It was booming, and then like you get into the 90s, and then it just went.
It fell off a cliff.
I have a box around here somewhere. For Father's Day, my wife went to our local ice cream shop that she likes, and in the window they had this old display of baseball cards from like the early 90s, even to 88 and 86 as well, of packs of cards that were still there. And I said jokingly she should buy them all for Father's Day. And she did. So they're in a box here somewhere.
Oh, you haven't opened them?
I'm slowly opening them one at a time. First, I'll go online and see what ones are still good.
Yeah.
From that, and then I'll slowly open them. I'll stretch it out for a while.
Yep.
But speaking of the 80s toys, like there's still, and we'll get to the newer generation stuff here soon. Like I'll go into Walmart. Whenever I'm in Walmart, I'm there a lot.
Yeah.
I'll go down to see, what they have. Usually for what they have for AEW, and but the aisles are still Star Wars, Ninja 100%. Turtles, He-Man, which has a Netflix show.
Yep.
The Marvel's big now.
Ghostbusters are there still.
Right. Yeah.
Wrestling, obviously. Yeah, and I say that a lot on the channel too. Yeah. There hasn't been, and that goes to these kids now. I think I just sound like such an old man. These kids these days.
These children.
These children. But they just don't have the attachment and the sentimental connection to things. My daughters are 10 and 6, and they're pretty much over toys. It's all iPads and games and stuff. They're done with toys.
Yeah, tell me about it.
I can't imagine. At 6 years old, I mean, what's the next G.I. Joe set? What's the next LJN wrestler? I mean, I was 100% in, but that's the thing. It's like the toy aisle. Isn't it the toy aisle anymore, or is it the adult collectible aisle? I mean, almost needs to be that way because it's all the properties from the 80s is what is there. There's very few. I mean, there's Roblox and stuff. My kids play that game. There's a few things, but you look in that aisle, like you said, there's majority of the stuff is from the 80s and 90s. Yeah. It's nothing new.
I have all my LJNs from when I was a kid. I did not take care of them.
Yeah.
At all. I think I painted the British Bulldogs.
Oh, wow.
I think I painted the British Bulldogs.
You were an absolute animal. An animal.
To look like Demolition.
You're not the only one that did stuff like that. I never did that. I always called. You would have been classified as an animal in my
savage.
I would have said, "Who is this savage?" You were the guy throwing the figures up in the air and seeing how high they could bounce.
Yeah. Well, what we would do, because I have 3 brothers, so the way we would have Royal Rumbles with our wrestlers is we would all get in different corners of the living room, put the ring in the middle. We'd each have we'd each have 5 LJNs or whatever. And we would take turns throwing them into the ring. They stay in the ring, they're in the Rumble. You just keep doing it until that's the end. And then when you're out of the wrestlers, you get them back up, divide them back up until there was one guy left. These kids don't understand.
They do not.
Passing the time. When we were kids, we built forts. Now people build them and put it on YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. Or they play a game and build a fort. That's what my kids do. Play Roblox and they build a fort. I'm building a fort in the game. Oh, okay.
We're playing hide and seek. Oh man, we could do this all night. They're playing hide and seek.
It was funny though. My LJNs as a kid, I was the exact opposite. I was a weird kid apparently because I kept my stuff minty of mint. You'd see kids bash their LJNs together. I was doing moves softly. If there was a scuff, it was the end of my world to an LJN figure. And I remember having friends come over. Oh, let's play wrestling. I'd say, oh, okay, yeah. And they'd sit down and they'd hammer it. Let's not do that. Let's not play wrestling. Let's go play video games or something.
Yeah, for sure. I wish I kept some of them in mint. I just that wasn't my mindset then. It just
we all go through that, and I got out of collecting briefly. I still collected, but I said, I got all these toys from the 80s, and that was during the eBay boom, about 95, 96. When eBay first came. I said, oh my gosh, you can sell this stuff and make money. I said, I'm going to sell all my childhood toys. I need a Jeep, and I actually sold all my childhood toys, 99% of them or whatever. And I bought a Jeep Grand Cherokee.
Good
and
grief.
At 19 years old, I said, man, I'm living large. And now all these years later, it is the biggest regret of my life. I don't know what that says about my life, but that's my biggest regret.
Have you bought them back?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Pretty much everything except my GI Joe collection. I had about every GI. I had like 95% of every GI Joe figure from the 80s. I did not buy those back, but I still have my aircraft carrier. So.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, that's only so much money in the world. That would be a fortune.
How supportive is your family?
Yeah, my family's. I mean, my wife is a saint. I mean, she should be. I am so insane. I mean, I'm just insane. I have a very addictive personality, as you can imagine watching my channel sometimes.
Right.
But you know, my wife and I have been together, gosh, 17 years now, I think it is.
Okay.
Yeah, she's been awesome. I mean, I'm a huge metalhead. I love heavy metal. And when I first met her, she had just went to Slayer the night before. And I said, I think we're in love.
There you go.
I said, I think we're in love. And, you know, we've been together ever since and very supportive. I mean, most wives would not be supportive of this, but, you know, I'm a good husband. I'm a nice guy. I think she's through that and says, you know what, it's the only thing he really does outside of work. So I think we're okay.
Yeah. My wife kills me if I buy wrestling. She doesn't kill me. I just pass out. Here's what I do now. Here's my gimmick, because my youngest is 4, so she's still into this plane.
Yeah.
I just pass it off. I let her play with them. Because I bought Darby Allin, but I took it out of the package. Like, do you take yours out?
Yeah,
for the most
AEW especially. 1 through 5, I have a minimum card set, and then I have a loose set. So,
okay,
yeah, I'm all loose these days. I'm not in it for the value.
Okay, interesting. What would you consider the value of your collection?
Oh gosh, I have no idea. You know, the last 18 months, I don't know how. I mean, obviously, this is my passion, we'll call it, and I follow it pretty hard. I mean, things have skyrocketed.
Yeah.
If I was a smart guy, if I was really smart, I would have sold my collection about a year ago because I would have made an absolute fortune.
What's your most valuable one?
Oh gosh, I don't even know. I do have a 1 of 31 King Grayskull figure.
Oh,
there's only 31 in the world. They were only given to Mattel, like upper brass at Mattel. So that's probably it. I mean, the last I heard, one sold for like 12 grand or something like that. So I got some rare stuff, but yeah, I don't have a ton of the crazy, you know, Matt Cardona stuff where he's got like a Greg Valentine prototype or anything like that.
He cherishes that.
Yeah. I mean, I love that kind of stuff. It'd be cool to have, but for some reason, I've always been drawn to like the everyday dude stuff. I like having the everyday stuff, and I'm a big time completionist. That goes back to my addictive personality, I guess. I like to be complete on everything. There's not many people in the world. I have a complete Mattel Elite collection. I mean, I don't know how many figures that is. It's like 25 Detolfs worth of figures.
Oh boy.
There's a lot of that stuff going on. It's crazy.
So, okay. I like when I get mail delivered to my house that I forgot I ordered. Like,
yeah.
Who knows? Like, I don't even know what. How many packages a day come to your house?
Oh man, that's a great question. I've never been asked that before, and I'm surprised I haven't. That's a good one because, you know, lately it's been a little slower lately for whatever reason. I think a lot of that is some of the shipping issues of the world. I think a lot of things are being delayed, so there's been a little bit of a collecting lull. But I mean, I've had days where I've had 40 packages in my house.
Oh,
I mean,
my good.
That was where my wife just looked at me one time, just like, this is a little crazy. 40, I didn't know they'd all ship at the same time. Especially when I'm going back. I was working on a complete Jack's Ruthless Aggression set. That's a line of figures.
Yeah.
And I was really working very hard on getting that completed, and I had a ton of stuff coming. Every day I'd have multiple figures coming. But yeah, lately, I bet you I'm probably at 3 packages a day on average. So it's slowed down immensely just because there's not a whole lot out there outside of new stuff that I'm really looking for.
What's your favorite line?
My favorite wrestling figure line of all time would be Jack's Classic Superstars. I think that is what got me back into hardcore collecting. That came out roughly, I was in college at the time. Obviously, you know, you're living in an apartment in college and, you know, you got buddies over party stuff. It's not really the place to store a nice collection, but I started working on it around there, and that's what really drew me back. There was the Titantron line and the R3 line from WWE. I absolutely hated those, and that really killed my wrestling fandom, my wrestling figure fandom. I said, I just do not like these. I think they're garbage. I'm not buying them. Then the classics came out, and that snowballed into all my collecting to this day.
Jumped right back in. It's just
It's a beautiful line. I mean, you've probably seen them before, but
Yeah.
if the viewers or whatever have never seen them, look them up. But the uniform packaging, very professional packaging, they're all the same. They display amazingly. And then for early 2000s, there was never a line that had so many legends. I mean, we all dreamed of having every WWE legend and NWA, WCW legend all in one line.
Right.
That's what we got.
Oh gosh, forgot where I was going from there. I had a perfect transition in my head, and now I forgot what it was.
Favorite line of all time?
We were going favorite line. Oh, and that okay. So now AEW has jumped into this world. How do you feel they're doing? Because to me, I can't ever find them. Anywhere, and I know they were exclusively at Walmart to start, I believe, and now I think you can technically get them anywhere, but I still can't find them. So how do you think they're doing in the world?
There's different ways to go about that. So I think they've had, quality-wise, I think they've had some stumbling blocks off the gate. So we all know about Series 1, the super pale skin. I mean, that was pretty brutal. They did rectify that somewhat recently. They've had some quality issues, which has been a little disappointing. And on my reviews on the channel, I'm pretty good. I'm pretty positive most of the time about all the reviews out there. But some of the joints on there, I always go back in my reviews. How would a little kid play with this? Because at the end of the day, you'd hope little kids are playing with their wrestling figures. A lot of those AEW figures, I think the arms would be broken off if a kid played. If you were playing as a kid with these, you'd have a lot of broken AEW.
I would have taken their wrists. So yeah, probably.
But besides that, I love the packaging. I love what they're doing. I love, competition is great. Competition's in business. As much as I hate my competitors in business and I feud with them and stuff like that, without them, competition makes you take chances, makes you get to the next level, all that kind of fun stuff. And AEW, I think, is doing that for Mattel. So it's almost a golden age of Mattel as well. So AEW's helping the whole industry really in that matter. But then you get to the distribution angle of it all. There's been a lot of challenges, and it's not all Jazzware's AEW fault. It's just the state of the COVID world.
Yeah, that's true.
Unbelievable amount of people. When I go back to what my collection's worth, before COVID, it was worth one amount, and then it's probably doubled once COVID hit because everybody started getting a lot of free money. You know what I mean by free money. They're getting that paycheck or whatever in the mail. A lot of people said, hey, I can't leave the house. I can't go on vacation. What did I used to do? Hey, I collected things. And a lot of people jumped into the collection time. And that's where AEW, NECA Turtles, G.I. Joe Classified Series, a lot of those forecasts for toys are a lot different. I'm in the food world is what I do for my regular job.
Okay.
Forecasts are pretty quick. You can forecast and plan and demand because food turns fast. It spoils, it expires, all that kind of stuff. So you're planning out, you got a year plan, but you're really planning month to month or quarter to quarter. Action figures are about a year out roughly because, hey, you got to design, make it, send it to China. They sculpt it, put it in package, got to come on a boat back over. Well, AEW was, I think, just like G.I. Joe and Turtles and everything else, kind of a long-winded answer here, all went in together where they didn't know the demands. You had your demand planning. Well, COVID hit, all these new collectors jumped in, and it made it extremely hard for people to get all these figures out there. And AEW is the new hot wrestling toy. They had their guess on demands. They probably guessed it close to Mattel Elites, and it skyrocketed past that. And now they're finally catching up is what I'm seeing. If you're in big city areas and stuff, I travel the whole Midwest, and I've never not seen an AEW figure. I could have picked up every single one at retail probably multiple times. But it just depends on your area, too. I mean, if you're living in Chicago, New York, Houston, you're going to struggle. It's just the way it's going to be. But if you're in the rural areas or the Midwest or somewhere where it's more spread out, you'll be able to find this figure.
Playing the long game is something you always say on your channel.
Yeah.
Explain that to me like I'm 5.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a saying. I got a bunch of stupid sayings. But playing the long game. Sometimes you'll look at a figure, and I'm terrible. I used to be much better at playing the long game, but now I pretty much get it when I see it. But there's some items out there. If you're smart, you play that long game on. It's always fun to have a new toy, shiny new toy, right when it's announced, right when it's hitting the store or the shelf pegs and stuff. How about Mondo, Gecko, and Muckman right now, NECA Ninja Turtles? A lot of people paid hundreds of dollars to get those things right away. I don't know about your area, but my area, they're everywhere right now. And that's playing the long game. Don't feed to eBay. Don't feed to the scalpers or whatever. Just wait. And then sometimes you can know some figures out there you got a pretty good idea, like Marvel Legends and stuff. I always see them. I always end up buying them right away. Like I said, I need to play the long game more.
Yeah.
But you play the long game and wait, you can go to Amazon, get them for half price. Ringsidecollectibles.com. Use discount code Kyle, save 10%. But you can play the long game on that, and you can save some money. That's for sure. But long games, basically, got to save some money in this game because everybody's got a figure budget, and I'd much rather buy more figures if at all possible than overspend on something else.
Do you have a figure budget?
No.
No.
It's just you never know. I mean, some months are crazy. On my channel recently, I just one huge regret I had was the He-Man Masters Universe Classic set from Mattel and Super 7. I, like a lot of kids, love He-Man, but I was in college, working, trying to pay for my studio apartment, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You don't have a budget. You don't have any money when you're a college kid. You're just hoping to get a pizza on Friday night. But I was collecting Jack Class Superstars, and I was collecting the G.I. Joe Figure Subscription Club. I really wanted to get in this He-Man line, but the funds just weren't there. And they've went up, skyrocketed over the years. And I finally said, you know what? This is my biggest collecting regret, missing out on this. And I'm going all in. And I found a guy. We negotiated for a couple of weeks, and I ended up buying a complete Masters Universe Classics collection. I don't know, 400 and some figures and crazy. But so like that month was ridiculous. I mean, it was more than a car. It was just ridiculous. But then some months are slow. This month's been very slow. So, and I always appreciate the slow times.
Some rapid fire questions.
Yeah.
Wrestling figures, I guess we'll focus on. We'll do Transformers another night.
There you go.
Wrestling figures, most underrated figure.
Oh, geez. Underrated figures of all time. Got to be the Jakks Ruthless Aggression line. A lot of people hate on those now, but I think we wouldn't have the glory days of what we have now without those figures.
True. What's your favorite wrestling figure?
Oh, it's got to be the LJN Ultimate Warrior, probably. That was just such a game changer for a little warrior like myself.
Yeah.
I mean, he was everything to me. He's still my favorite wrestler of all time.
Yeah.
Love your shirt, by the way.
Yeah, wore it specifically for you.
There you go.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I should have matched. I had that shirt. But Warrior, I got that as a kid, and just being a little warrior out there and just getting that first ever Warrior figure. I mean, it was just a game changer in your LJN playing days. Got the title that night.
Of course he did.
Yeah, you had to.
Hit a couple clotheslines, splash, boom, in and out.
Yep, in and out.
In and out. What's one wrestler that does not have a figure that probably needs one or deserves one?
One I really want, I've wanted it forever, and it's really a deep cut to some people, but it's the Fabulous Rougeau brothers.
Oh, yeah.
Hated team. I love their theme song, too. All American Boys and all that, but I've always wanted them. I was hoping they'd have a Jakks Class Superstar of them. I'm hoping Mattel gets one. I mean, there's tons of guys that need figures, but the Rougeau brothers are definitely at the top of my list, which is really a deep cut, but I mean, it's something we've never had.
That's great. Oh, but I almost forgot. We actually have somebody calling in to ask you a question. Huge wrestling collector. So let's see if this works. This might not work. I'm going to pull him in. And hopefully he's not muted. Although he might have muted himself. No, he got kicked out. Well, you understand technology. Sometimes it works and sometimes it does not. I have this feature. I use Discord, and I have the abilities for people to jump in. Oh, I think he heard us. Spuddy?
Oh, there you go.
Hey, I can actually hear Kyle.
You can hear Kyle, and you can hear me, and we can hear you. You can hear him.
Yep.
Excellent. So it's nice to know.
Shoot,
Streamer, you've been able to get rid of the technical difficulties.
Hey,
but Kyle, big YouTube fan. Been following your videos for a while now. Thank you for producing great content. I'm a wrestling figure lurker is the best way to describe it. I had a collection and I sold it all off. So it's interesting hearing your story of your regret, but I still follow wrestling figures from a lurking perspective, which I think is interesting in itself. But no. I was curious why you didn't say an Owen Hart figure as your most desired figure.
That's not a bad one either. I mean, we've had Owen Harts in the past. We've had them in the Bone Cruncher days. We've had them in the Hasbro days. So I guess I was going more towards somebody we've never had, but Owen would be great. We know he hates the WWE. I'm hopeful, and I think what we've seen with the micro brawlers coming out recently, I think the future is bright for Owen Hart figures. I think we'll end up getting something somewhere. I don't think it'll be through the WWE. I don't know if it could possibly be through Jazzwares. Jeremy's been amazing at that kind of stuff over the years. I could also see maybe a Storm Collectibles or a Super 7 jumping in with an Owen Hart. So I do think we'll get an Owen Hart figure in the next year or two. And I'd love an Owen Hart figure for sure. But yeah, I guess I was thinking Drew Joe's.
That's interesting for sure. I know one of my biggest irks when I was collecting was just the inaccuracy on figures. Like, obviously, there was manufacturing issues with Jax, whether it was an Adrenaline series with Titantron Live arms and etc. But I absolutely hate like a guy like CM Punk. He can't get a Pepsi tattoo. But one of my low-key favorite figures was the Rulers of the Ring 3 Raven. The Punisher shirt, I think it's an all-time great, and I feel it doesn't get the credit that it deserves.
You are spot on, my friend. And guess what? That is the only Titantron Live figure I display in my collection. That one.
Oh, wow.
You were spot on.
That's interesting because
yep.
I actually kept it when I sold my collection. That's the only figure I kept and had a soft spot to it. But that's very interesting for sure. Do you still go on
love
hunts?
That figure. Do I go on hunts?
Just an online purchaser.
Oh yeah, I'm on hunts. Oh yeah, I go on hunts every week. Partially I'm kind of lucky too because I travel for my shoot job, my real job. So I'm in stores a lot, and I'm also in there checking competition in my daily job. So if I'm in a store, of course I'm checking the toy aisle. So I probably make 35, 40 stores a week, I would think, something like that.
Oh wow, that's huge.
All right,
you get your gas paid for with work, which is amazing.
That helps.
All right, Spuddy, I'm going to let you go. Great questions.
Kyle, nice talking with you. Hopefully, you maybe do a live on your YouTube channel sometime.
I would love to do that. I just need to figure it out. I need to figure that out. I'm not the most technology wizard guy, so I need to figure that out one day.
All right.
Well, talk to Streamer, help you out. Take care, guys. Have a good night.
There you
Later,
go.
Spuddy.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, Spuddy's great. He's been a long-time friend of this show. He's wanted us to have a wrestling collector person on. He tries to get me to collect all the time, but my kids spend all my money.
There you go.
One final question before I give you the mic, and you can put yourself over and plug anything you want. It has nothing to do with collecting anything. It has to do with pizza. You are a pizza connoisseur.
Oh, baby.
It took me half the day to learn how to spell connoisseur. First question, do you like pineapple on pizza?
I'm not a huge fan of pineapple on pizza. Pineapple is a weird thing. I love pineapple, but I don't like it in like my Chinese food. And I don't really like it on my pizza, but I will eat a Hawaiian pizza. If it's thin crust, I can do it, but I hate it on deep dish or pan. I don't like it on that, but thin I can stomach.
Yeah, California style, thin crust for sure.
Yep.
And then my last one was, are there any weird toppings that maybe are underrated for people?
I'm a pretty plain Jane. So I'm known as the Iowa Pizza King. I'm from Iowa, and I've been on a lot of radio shows and TV and stuff like that. And, my travels and reviewing pizzas and stuff like that. I always start with the sausage and pepperoni pizza. And I say, if they can get that right, I'll try something else the next time I go. But I'm pretty much meat and potatoes. I like, pepperoni. I like that kind of stuff. But I love a lot of things. One of my favorite pizzas of all time is a barbecue beef Alfredo, and I'm not even that big of an Alfredo fan, but it just works all together. So there's some crazy stuff. I'm sure every place has. We have some crazy pizza places where I'm from that really do kind of gourmet pizzas out there, and stuff that sounds atrocious ends up being pretty good.
Spectacular! I'm gonna have to try some of that Alfredo. What we do at the end of every show, Kyle, is I give you the mic now. We've plugged your links, your pro wrestling tees, your YouTube, your Twitter, but you can put over anything you want. If you want to get a message out there, you can bury the competition. I don't care what you do.
Yeah.
The
live mic.
That's right. Give you a pipe bomb. Floor is yours.
Yeah, nothing too much. I guess, follow me and subscribe, all that fun stuff on YouTube at the Kyle Peterson 1980. Just search Kyle Peterson on YouTube. I'll pop up there. I always say there's two Kyle Petersons. There's me, action figure guy, and there's some wilderness survival guy. Well, I'm the action figure guy, so it's pretty easy to find. And then follow me on Twitter at SirPaul64, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson. Pro Wrestling Tees, Kyle Peterson. That's pretty much it out there, Keep buying wrestling figures and watch my channel.
Excellent. All right, I am gonna make all my kids watch. It's all they do is sitting in front of that friggin' YouTube.
I know all too well.
Yeah, I'm sure. Kyle, thanks for giving us your time. Spuddy said in the chat, this is the best guest of all time.
Oh, there you go. Not very nice.
And thanks for coming on. And thank your wife and your kids for giving us the time as well.
Yeah.
Bring
me back anytime.
One final question from Spuddy. He writes,
okay.
Do you have a Discord, Kyle?
I don't even know what a Discord is.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know what a Discord is, and he doesn't need it, Spuddy.
I think I need Spuddy to join my team. I think he's come over and help me with my technology.
I don't know, Spuddy. We're lucky he wasn't muted. Sometimes he sits on his phone. But no, well, maybe we can explain Discord.
There you go.
In an email or something. Kyle,
it's kind of like the long game. Describe it to me like I'm a 5-year-old.
It's like I don't even know how to describe
like AOL group chat.
There you go. Perfect. Like AOL group chat.
Throwing it way back.
Kyle, have a glorious night, and we'll talk to you soon.
You guys too. Thanks a lot for having me on.
Yeah, anytime.
See you guys.
Peace. Spectacular stuff. Have a great night, Kyle. Oh, he's gone. Look at that. He knows how to work. Oh, he's back. Later. Oh, I wish I was taping. I mean, I am taping. I'm live. I went off the screen. I went off that scene. Damn.